Moomoo or interactive brokers. These are, in my opinion, right now, the two best brokers for Malaysians who want to invest in foreign stocks. I actually use both of them right now, so today I'll be talking about the strengths of both of these platforms and comparing them in terms of features and functionalities. Let's get through it. First up, let's talk about their reputation, safety, and regulation. This is one of the most important parts when you choose a broker because, you know, we don't want to choose a sketchy one, put all of our money there, and then one day they run away or they shut down and we can't get access to our cash anymore. We have thousands, maybe some of you guys even have millions in your brokerage accounts, so this part is really important. Obviously, since I'm making a video to compare both of these brokers and I do use both of them, they are pretty safe to use. Moomoo is listed under the parent company Futu and they are listed in the US with a market cap of about $10 billion. On the other hand, IBKR, they are also listed in the US and they have a market cap of over $50 billion. But market cap doesn't really matter, it doesn't matter how big they are, but you can see due to the size, they're both pretty reputable companies. But the major difference in this aspect is that Moomoo Malaysia, they are licensed and regulated by Securities Commission Malaysia, whereas IBKR, they're not. So interactive brokers, they decided not to pursue regulation here, but they are regulated in many other countries like the US, Hong Kong, and Singapore as well. Interactive Brokers is also a member of the SIPC, and this means that if anything bad were to happen to them, investors would be protected for up to $500,000, and this includes Malaysians as well. So yeah, this is a decision that you guys need to make for yourselves. Personally, I am comfortable with interactive brokers, but if you're someone who prefers a broker that is licensed and regulated here in Malaysia, then Moomoo is the obvious choice for you. Before I get into the rest, if you guys want to use either Moomoo or interactive brokers after watching this video, then you can use my links. I'll leave it down in the description below. If you guys want to sign up for Moomoo, they're running a promotion right now for my viewers, so if you guys use my link and deposit some money, you'll get 150 ringgit worth of coupons and you'll get fractional shares of 5 different stocks worth up to 450 ringgit. If you guys want to sign up for interactive brokers using my link, then yeah, unfortunately they don't have any promos for you guys, but it does support the channel, so I really appreciate it if you guys use my link. Anyway, back to the comparison, and the next part I want to talk about is the user interface and platform experience. Basically, how easy is it to use these brokers? To me, this is really important, especially if you're someone who is an active trader. If you're someone who is more buy and hold, you know, you don't really log into your broker account, you don't really make a lot of transactions, maybe it won't be as important to you. Anyway, in my opinion, Moomoo has one of the best user experiences and interfaces among all of the brokers that I've tried out so far. I guess it makes sense considering they're a relatively new broker who started in 2012 compared to something like interactive brokers who started way back in 1972. And because of when they started, Moomoo, like many other new-gen brokers out there, they are mobile first, meaning they put in a lot of effort to make their mobile app look really good and also easy to navigate. Even if you're a beginner, everything is pretty self-explanatory as long as you understand the basic trading terms, like for example, how to place an order. I have to say that, I haven't used the Interactive Brokers mobile app in a pretty long time, just because back then, in my opinion at least, it wasn't really good. But when I was doing research for this video, I of course had to check out their mobile app again. And to my surprise, they've actually made huge changes to it. I guess they also realized that a lot of the newer investors, people who are, Gen Z, millennials, stuff like that, we are more mobile first. So they decided to put in the effort and make their mobile app now look a lot better. But I would say for now, Moomoo is still slightly better than interactive brokers in terms of mobile experience, just because it's easier for me to find the things I'm looking for. Now, I'm not saying that Interactive Brokers app is not good. Like I said, with the new version, it is a lot better and it's still much better than many other brokers I've tried out there. It's just that it can be quite complex for beginners. Then we get to the PC or computer versions, and this to me is where Interactive Broker wins. So it's still not super easy to use, but their web version is still pretty simplified as well. They also have desktop versions, meaning apps that you can download to your computer or laptop. And those to me, they were extremely complicated. They were so old school that even someone like myself couldn't really get the hang of using it. But now, again, it seems like they understand these things and they know that a lot of newer investors want a more simplified UI. So they did very recently launch a brand new version of their desktop app. And yeah, props to them for really listening to what people want and making things a lot nicer and easier to use. On the other hand, I would say that Moomoo's desktop version isn't the best either, but I would still say that maybe it is slightly easier for me to navigate. But the main reason I think that Interactive Brokers wins this part for me is that they have a web version, meaning I can access Interactive Brokers using something like Google Chrome, whereas on Moomoo, I can't. This is just a me thing maybe, but I really don't like downloading a separate app just to access my brokers. I want to be able to do it on a web browser because, you know, it's just a lot easier. So overall, in terms of user experience and how easy they are to use, I would say that they are pretty close. If I made this video 3, maybe even 6 months ago, then I would have said that Moomoo would have won by a huge margin, but like I mentioned, Interactive Brokers, they've made some huge improvements as well, which means that they are now pretty much on par. I would say that if you're someone who prefers using the mobile app to trade, then Moomoo is better. If you're someone who prefers using your computer like myself, then Interactive Brokers is probably better. Now we move on to the investment options, and in this aspect, Interactive Brokers wins by a huge margin just because, you know, they have so many different products and they also give us access to so many different markets. If we look at Moomoo right now, we are limited to only Malaysian and US stocks. Maybe they will introduce new products and access to new markets in the future because, for example, in Singapore, they do offer a lot more. But right now, as Malaysians, we're only limited to these 2 markets and you can only trade stocks. For Interactive Brokers, they have things like stocks, options, bonds, and even futures. And even if, let's say, you're not someone who's interested in options, futures, all those stuff, let's say you're someone who only wants to invest in stocks, even then, Interactive Brokers still gives us a lot more options. For example, aside from the standard things like the US stock market, they also give us access to European markets, for example, the UK one, or even other Asian markets like Japan, Hong Kong, and Singapore. But the main thing that Moomoo has that IBKR does not is that Moomoo gives us access to the Malaysian stock market and Interactive Brokers does not. So that means that if you guys want to invest in a local stock market, if you guys want to invest in local companies like Maybank, YTL Power and whatnot, then you will have to go for Moomoo because Interactive Brokers doesn't offer that. So yeah, I would say overall, Interactive Brokers wins just because they have so many different options for us to choose from, but Moomoo, they do have a secret weapon in the sense that they do provide access to the Bursa market in Malaysia. Now we move on to fees, and I'll only be comparing it for the US stock market because, like I said, Interactive Brokers doesn't have access to Malaysian stocks, so there's nothing to compare. But anyway, surprisingly, Interactive Brokers is actually cheaper. So to be fair to Moomoo, I haven't found any other reliable broker that I would actually use out there that has better fees than Interactive Brokers. They do have the lowest fees out there and they seem to be the market leader for Malaysians. If you're someone from the US, then yeah, maybe there are plenty of options for you to choose from where there's, you know, 0 fees and stuff like that. But for us Malaysians, I really haven't found any broker that's cheaper than Interactive Brokers for US stocks. So IBKR charges a minimum of 35 cents US dollars for every single trade that you make. That's around only 1 ringgit and 60 cents. That's pretty cheap. That's the only thing that they charge us. By the way, if you guys already use Interactive Brokers, they basically have 2 pricing systems. One is a fixed and the other one is a tiered one. So I did my research. Basically, the tiered one is always cheaper. So if you haven't yet, just switch to that. You can do it in your settings. On the other hand, Moomoo charges a platform fee of USD 0.99 per trade, which is roughly around 4 ringgit and 60 cents right now. And then on top of that, they have a 0.03% commission on all trades that we make. So this will depend on your trade value. And then finally, they also have to charge us stamp duty as per Malaysian regulation, whereas Interactive Broker, because they're not regulated here, they don't charge us this stamp duty. So yeah, I guess if, you know, while you're trading, you want to contribute to the Malaysian government's revenue, then go for Moomoo. Both platforms also don't have any other inactivity fees, hidden fees, anything like that. This is pretty much all that you will pay for just making simple trades. But yeah, you guys can see by now that Interactive Brokers, they are quite a bit cheaper compared to Moomoo for US stocks. This one then isn't really a comparison, but for Malaysian stocks, Moomoo is actually, you know, pretty cheap when we compare them to other local options. Finally, I'll just share some other additional stuff that you might want to consider. First of which are deposits and withdrawals. So Moomoo, because they are set up in Malaysia, they do accept deposits and they do give you withdrawals in Malaysian ringgit. You can either do it via bank transfers or FPX. I've done them both. For depositing with FPX, it's instant. For withdrawals, it's pretty quick as well. On the other hand, Interactive Brokers, they do not accept Malaysian ringgit deposits. You got to deposit in either US dollar or Sing dollar. These are both, you know, the easiest options. You can do it via Wise for US dollar, or you can do it via CIMB Singapore if you want to deposit in Sing dollar. Next up, we have research and analysis. Again, they're both pretty good with a lot of information out there for stocks, whether we want to trade or invest. But I would say if you're more of a trader, then Moomoo is probably better just because they have a lot of technical information as well. Whereas Interactive Brokers, they focus a lot more on fundamental information. Moomoo also has a community feature built in, which is pretty cool. Basically, anyone can post their thoughts on any stock. It can be in terms of fundamentals, fundamentals or technicals, and then all of us, we can see their thoughts. It can be quite insightful, and you can even comment if you want to discuss it with them. As you guys can see, CEO of Apes, he thinks that the bottom is in for Uber. With that kind of name, we kind of have to trust him, right? The next thing that I want to touch on is interest on idle cash. So interactive brokers, they're paying 4.8% on your idle cash, which is crazy high. Higher than any other broker that I've seen out there. Higher than even the money market funds that we have in Malaysia. The catch is you need more than 10,000 US dollars in idle cash sitting there to be eligible for this. On the other hand, Moomoo is giving a more normal amount, which is 2%, but this one doesn't have a minimum amount. Even if you only have 100 ringgit in there, you will still earn this 2%. But this is a 90-day promo, but who knows? Maybe after this promo ends, they will introduce something more permanent like interactive brokers. The final thing that I'll touch on is recurring investments. So interactive brokers, currently they allow us to schedule automatic transfers or automatic investments into certain stocks or ETFs. So for example, if I want to invest into something like Apple every single month, I want to DCA, I can set it up where every single month, $100 will get invested into Apple. It's completely on autopilot, which makes things a lot easier. It's a shame that Moomoo doesn't have this right now, but I did check out in Singapore, they do have this feature called, I think, regular savings plan. So maybe they will bring this over to Malaysia as well, and then we can all start to DCA into our favorite stocks and ETFs. So right now, most of my long-term investments in the US are sitting in interactive brokers, whereas I use Moomoo more for my trades. But I actually realized that I've gotten it the wrong way around and I should be flipping them. So my thinking right now is that because in my trading account, I'll probably make a lot more transactions, I want to go with the broker that's cheaper, which is interactive brokers. I think that makes sense. They also offer more products. And then on the other hand, my long-term investment portfolio, I might want something that's more secure. Like I said, interactive brokers, they are safe, but it's just added peace of mind for Moomoo that they are regulated and licensed here. So I do want to switch my long-term investment portfolio to Moomoo Malaysia. One benefit for stock traders that Moomoo gives is that they don't have the pattern day trader rule. Just because they're not based in the US, they're based in, I guess this entity is based in Malaysia. Interactive brokers does have this pattern day trader rule, which can be kind of restrictive. If you guys don't know what the PDT rule is, then just completely ignore it. Basically, if you're not a trader, then it shouldn't impact you. All in all, I would say that these are two really great brokers for us to choose from, and it's nice that nowadays Malaysians, we have this luxury of choice. It really depends on what you value more. For some people, they might prefer interactive brokers. For other people, they might prefer Moomoo. And then there's people like me who can't decide and then just use both. Anyway, like I said, if you guys want to sign up for either of these brokers, then use my link, I'll leave it down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.